Gaffer, your thoughts, or rather your emotions after that one?
Well, we've had time to calm down, you know. Players are dejected in there, they're disheartened, you know, and I believe the inconsistency of the referee all afternoon has paid cost to us, really, you know, gaining momentum in today's game. And, you know, I can't for the life of me understand. We talk about consistency. All managers ever want is consistency in performance. We talk about it all the time. All the managers, that's all you want. Apply the letters of the law and consistency. And you know, the boy McDonald, who said to me, you know, he's apologised for the tackle on Danny Mayer. You know, doesn't even get booked for that. There's 2 cautions before that, and that's all I want. Some consistency. The penalty is you know, Danny Hilton handballs it, then he throws himself on the floor with no contact, wins a penalty. The referee's 4 yards from it. So, you know, the players feel as though there's injustice. I don't really hide behind the referees, you know, blaming the referee, but certainly today, there's not been a real high level of professionalism shown, and that disappoints me. And the players have suffered today; they really have, because they're on the floor in there.
It's not a new problem. This is, again, season after season after season. It never changes.
Doesn't you know? League Two, like, you know, I say it all the time. League Two, we're the breeding ground for referees to try and get themselves to the promised land, the Premiership, and until they go professional, it's not going to change.
The game itself, though, first half a bit scrappy, second half got into a bit more.
No, it was a scruffy game. It was an awful game, and you know, we didn't really have the composure that we've played with, and there's some good chances. You know, I look at some of the chances we've created, and Danny Rowe's effort. It's a fantastic header, great ball in, a fantastic header. Keeper's made a couple of good saves, but you know, the penalty save just levels it up. And I thought from that moment we sort of had the momentum, and it was going to go on to at least keep a clean sheet, and try and claw something out of the football match. But you know, unfortunately we didn't. You know, we've got to react on positively tomorrow, and I've told the players, you know, don't go home, don't take it home. Your families don't deserve that. You know, make sure that when we come in bouncing on Monday, and we start work again on Monday.
Losing Adam, 2 yellow cards, was that part of the problem?
I'm not too sure. You know, Notes comes on, and he's come on before for us and been fantastic. So, you know, I've got Jim McNulty on there to come on and marshal that defence. So, no, I don't think that was the problem. I just think, you know, the inconsistency of today's performance really made up for a disappointing game. You know. And it was a disappointing game.
You touched on the penalty, but Popey stood up to the plate, didn't he?
I said to Brassic, he looks massive, doesn't he? You know, when he's in goal, he's so imposing, dominant figure, and you know, Ilks has struck some good penalties this season, and I don't know, he does it in training. You know, we do shooting sessions, and he does put that fear in you because he is such a big unit, and he's athletic with it. So no, it was a fantastic save, and really that should have been the springboard for at least a clean sheet and a point. So we've got to dust ourselves down and go again, because the momentum we've gained has been really positive, and the stadium were positive today. They've just been let down.
Should we have stopped the goal? Were we chasing the game at the other end?
I don't think we were. You know, it was just he's got him behind Riles, and I've not seen that happen this season. And then after he's got him behind Riles, we looked really exposed at that point. So, you know, disappointed with the goal. I've not really analysed it yet. I'll have a look at it, but yeah, it was that was the only disappointing aspect of the game really today for me.
So it's something when you lose at home, but you get a standing ovation as the lads coming off.
The lads have given everything for each other. I've said that to them after the game. They've given the club everything. They've not left. They've not left a breath out there. They've given it everything, and they know they have. You know, and tonight the referee can go home, enjoy his night, move on Saturday, and just get on with it. This group of lads, that's what we do. That's what as a manager you do, as a coaching staff you do. We'll lift them up, we'll pick them up, because physically, mentally, they give everything to that football match. They've not performed at the highest levels that they've shown this season, but they've certainly, body and soul, give everything.
Just been going through the notes from the actual game, trying to add up the number of cards, and it got to a point where he was showing so many that we couldn't even figure out who he was showing them to.
It just become a balancing act. I've give you one, so I'm going to give someone else, and that's how it looked. If it looked like that to you, it really felt like that to me as a manager. And I said after 20 minutes, you could certainly feel that the first two cautions do not help a referee out. There was a referee a couple of weeks ago, and he let it go, and he let another one go and another one go. And I'm cool with that because he's showing consistency from the start. I think once you caution someone in the first 10 minutes, you're setting yourself up, because then afterwards you've got a hell of a lot to, cautions in a game. And we're League Two on a difficult service, with blustery conditions. It's there's gonna be tackles and League Two. It's a League Two competition. So yeah, you're right. The totting up procedure, like Danny Hilton, 9 fouls given away, and he gets booked in the 88th minute. And he's jumped on the floor for a no contact penalty. So there's like I said, the word I would use is injustice, and that's what I've witnessed today.
I mean, we saw, I think, Danny Mayer sticking up for his mate Andrew Tutt after he had a pretty dodgy challenge near the end. I couldn't quite figure out whether he's booked Mayer, Tutt or who in that last little bit. He was just seems to be brandishing the card here, there and everywhere.
No, I don't know. And again, there's potentially mass confrontation situation the club's going to have to deal with. But that's a build-up of frustration. That's a build-up of people not doing their jobs, and that's a build-up of the whole stadium. You could feel it. But listen, we have got to now concentrate on Monday's work, and really concentrate now on lifting this group who've been different class in the last 3 months.
Saying all of that, I thought at the end, sometimes you get flash points as people come off the pitch and stuff like that, but the players themselves showed quite a lot of restraint and some good sportsmanship near the end. They didn't go crazy, they didn't lose their head, did they? They kept their head at the end, and that's probably going to stand in good stead for the end of the season in the running, because it's going to get more pressurised than that.
Yeah, Danny at one point, he got the red mist, and he really did. We lost him for 5 seconds there, and I said to him that there's a bigger picture, Dan. I got him calm and just said, there's a bigger picture, Dan. I want you on this pitch. I've already lost Adam. I want you on this pitch, and then next week, that looks after itself. So we'll regroup next week and then kick on for some more competition next week.
I mean, one thing you have said is that there's something to play for in pretty much every game in the League Two, top, bottom, middle, wherever you look. So the games like that are only going to come more intense as the season goes on, isn't it? So it's quite a good lesson really for everybody concerned.
That's why you need as the pressure comes, whether a team's going out of the league or a team's vying for the playoffs or the top 3, you're really going to need to allocate your refs right, and there's no gimme games, there's no dead rubber games. They've all got something on, because that's the way the league's set itself up this season, and it's going to be a difficult job for the Referees Association to get so many referees across them highly competitive games.
Okay, going forward to Mansfield, so you've got to work on that one. Probably can't expect too much football to be played at Mansfield either, but I mean, last year you went there and got really good results. Is that something you'll be focusing on this week, that kind of performance?
We'll be focusing on what we do, under the old manager. It was a really direct style, probably the most direct that I'd come across as a manager. But under Paul Murray, he's got a philosophy. He wants to play a certain way, and he has done. He's been able to implement that. He's got 6-7 players in to do that, and got some real footballers in with good technical detail. So yeah, it's going to be. I think we're a football match next week, and we done really well. That was one of our best performances last season with me as the manager. It's a big pitch. It's nice, and it's a big pitch, and we'll look forward to going there come Saturday. Okay.
And with regards to bodies, after today, I know that'll take you a while to assess that, but Nads was one player that couldn't quite make today. Says it's maybe just a tight hamstring as opposed to a torn one. Is that
yeah, it's just a nick. There's just a nick in there. Again, Nads has had his share of injuries. He knows his body now, and he played 65 and 67 minutes over a 72-hour period, and it just took its toll. But Nads, luckily, knows his body. There's some bruising come out. We had a scan, and there's a slight nick on it, but he feels good on it. His recovery's been good. You know, but we've got to manage that and make sure it don't turn into you know, a big injury.
And Hallam, you saying you were going to try and realign him. Do you reckon that's been successful this week?
Yeah, he's done. He's had a positive week. He's not trained with the first team. He's trained with the medical staff and fitness staff, and he's nearly there. So we'll have him for training Monday, and then he'll have a full run of. He'll have a full week.
Okay, right. Cheers, Dave.
Cheers, guys.
So the reason you come out so late, Dave, is because you're wound up, aren't you? And you don't want to say the wrong thing, presumably about the match officials.
I've been seeing the ref. You know, luckily I've seen the incidents. We get that hindsight. It'd just be nice to just, you know, with modern technology now, to just go in for half an hour of a calm debate with the assessors and watch. You know, with technology now, you can beam it down. You can beam it down to the room. Out the money in football, how we can't have a discussion with a referee after a game to see if we can make it better. The only reason I go in referees' rooms is try and speak to the referee, speak to the assessors, give them what you know as a football person, and you can pass that knowledge on and try and improve the system we've got. I think the only way you can do that is speak to them after you've evaluated and gone through each incident, but you can't. So you go in there, you know what you've seen, you know what you've felt. I think the biggest thing is you know what you feel, and I certainly feel, and the players do, that there's an injustice gone on today.
Is that because of Adam El Abd? Is it the penalty? Is it the various incidents that happened during the game?
It's just an amalgamation. You know, it's a build-up. It's the Adam El Abd one. It is a booking.
The first one and the second one?
The first one's not, but the second one is. But the McDonald tackle on Danny Mayer, it says, you know, it's potentially a reckless tackle. He's lunged, he's gone down, you know, and Danny Mayer, if that's the way you want to stop Danny Mayer, then, you know, you should get punished for that. And there wasn't a booking, so the fourth official said to me he wants to you know, he's consistent with the 2 yellow cards that weren't yellow cards, in my opinion, in the first 20 minutes. So, but then if you're going to be consistent, do it for 97 minutes. You know, make sure that if that's the way you referee, then referee like that. Don't get cloudy. Don't get this cloud come over you and then just start evening things up. And it, honestly, to every person in that stadium, it just looked, like Craig said, that it was a case of just even things up. Quite incredible.
And to take it away from this individual referee, what you're calling for is the opportunity to use technology more and to be able to go in and discuss a game after a match with the referee.
Without a doubt, it's the only way we're going to improve as a group, and then it takes the emotion out of it. You're actually talking about angles. And then if a referee says, "Well, I got the wrong angle," so the assessor then can say, "Well, how can we improve that? Was you far enough away? Then you can improve your fitness." Where was your focus? What was your preparation like? That's what we do, you know, all next week. Why wasn't we at our best first half? I'll be evaluating that tomorrow and Monday, because that's what you do as a coach, and we don't seem to be able to have them tools to do that. So I've seen the incidents. I go and speak to the referee after 30 minutes, and to be honest, you know, it's probably a pointless exercise because it never goes anywhere.
I know it's difficult at this point to draw a line under it, but you're still in a very good position, aren't you? You've won 4 before this game.
Listen, we honestly, Cheesy, we've earned the right to, you know, be in this fantastic position. The lads have done brilliant, and you know, when you talk about draw a line, I'm just giving you the events of what's happened today and afterwards, and we'll certainly do that because we've got Mansfield. You know, we'll all be focused for Mansfield, and I've said to the lads, do not take it home. Your families don't deserve that. Your mums, your dads, your wives, your girlfriends, your kids, they don't deserve that. You go home and have a weekend, and then we'll hit it hard Monday and concentrate on Mansfield. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Cheers.
Dave, was it definitely